What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, I wanted to talk about SPS today. Let's talk about SPS price action. Let's do some SPS price speculation. Maybe no, you know me. I don't like to do price predictions. So the speculation here is primarily going to be on what are the upcoming catalysts. All right, so today we got to see the broader crypto market jump up somewhat. Let's see where Bitcoin is at. Bitcoin is at up almost 3% today, 2.8%. We're knocking at the door for 44K, and SPS is following along with that. I thought we had a higher number here. It looks like SPS is only up 2.2% on the daily, and on the 7-day we are still down dramatically. So SPS is still going to follow the rest of the market, but what are the upcoming price catalysts that could move the price significantly in an upward direction? Now, before we even get into that, I'm going to remind everyone that we still have a couple more months of the private sale, or sorry, not, I shouldn't call it the private sale, the initial investor sale, where these investors bought SPS for less than 2 cents, and it is being released to them in amounts of 20 million SPS per month. If you look at it now, they are still up, 6x, no, what is this, 9 to 10x maybe, based on how much they got it for or how much they end up selling it for. Well, I guess a clean 9x right now. So who wouldn't be selling on a 9x, or at least taking some profits? That's still going on for a couple more months. And then the airdrop, which ends in July, we are coming up to the halfway point of the airdrop. Now, why do I bring up the airdrop again? It's because it creates a lot of downward pressure. People are looking at it as free money right now, since SPS doesn't really have much utility. You're getting these tokens given to you every day that have a value of 17.5 cents each, and they are putting it back into the game in different ways, buying cards or packs or land potentially, who knows? So look at this. Now it went up to 5%. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. All right, so those are the things that are pushing the price downwards, right? And I don't believe that we will see an end to that anytime soon, in terms of people starting to stack and stake SPS. Now, we've seen the amount of SPS staked overall increase. We are almost at $250 million. We're probably just under 240 million tokens staked right now, which is phenomenal. So what is going to create that kind of price action, right? There's two things that I see coming up. One is hard to determine and maybe small, and the other one I think could be relatively large. The first is the SPS governance that will be coming into play very soon. Now, I'm very bullish on this just because I'm very into crypto and DeFi, but a lot of people who aren't into that, or don't really have an interest and are just into Splinterlands because they enjoy trading card games, it might not matter that much, right? To have a voice. I'm sure people will look and see how much SPS they have and maybe be happy with that. It wouldn't necessarily be a reason to stack and stake SPS. Now, I've already made my arguments for it. I think it's a phenomenal opportunity to be a part of the game, like really literally a part of the game, and have a say on where things go. As it stands right now, I believe there's $4 million in the SPS Foundation, or the DAO Foundation. And once Rift Watchers sells, and once Rift Watchers potentially sells out, so that'll be, let's just say within the next 6 months, that will add another 12 million in. So again, this is not your money, and you won't get to decide solely what you do with it, but you do get a voice in helping to determine where that money is spent, whether SPS is burned, whether it's spent on marketing, whether it's given back to token holders. However that ends up working, you will have at least a voice in it and a share of what they decide to do with it. And this is something that could potentially be ongoing in the future, right? Like this is the foundation is being set up to be a decentralized platform and for this to be a decentralized game to a certain extent. We're not there yet, but that is the goal for Splinterlands to get there. And I think that this is a fantastic opportunity to be a part of that, right? So stacking and staking SPS. The bigger one is going to be Rift Watchers. Now, we talked about this already, so I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but I wanted to just briefly explain the mechanisms and how this would affect the ecosystem or the supply demand curve that we would need. So as it stands, there will be, I believe, 3 million Rift Watchers packs available. They're going to sell for about $5 per pack, or not about, but exactly $5 per pack. And the key part that was announced at the end of December is that they will be sold in only SPS. So you will need to buy SPS in order to transact and buy the packs, right? You'll need to transact in SPS. Now, for a lot of people who have SPS already, you won't need to do anything, but you will be at the whim of whatever the market price is at that time. For many other folks who don't necessarily want to take from their stacks, they want to take from other portions or other places where they store money. That was a weird way to say it, but they want to take from other funds, I should say. They will need to convert that into SPS, right? So converting that into SPS means going into any of these exchanges where SPS is listed or the decentralized exchanges where SPS is listed, right? So Gate.io is I believe one of the central exchanges, but PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, and is this available on? Okay, PancakeSwap and SushiSwap are probably the two big decentralized exchanges. I personally use PancakeSwap, and so in order to convert my Bitcoin, US dollars, USDC, Ethereum, whatever it is that I want to buy packs, I will need to actually go and buy SPS off of the market. So what does that do? That creates that upward price pressure. Now, is it going to be enough to offset the downward sales pressure that we're seeing? Because we know that Rift Watchers is going to come out well before, well, I shouldn't say well before, but we know it's going to come out before the end of the airdrop. The airdrop goes through July, and Rift Watchers has been announced for Q2. So anywhere between April and June is when we can expect that to happen. The main thing here for me is the fact that we're seeing a nice kind of price floor. I mean, it's hard to even say. I'm not using any technical analysis, so please don't take all this with a grain of salt. We saw Bitcoin dip down as low as 16 cents we saw SPS dip down as low as 16 cents when Bitcoin nuked down below 40K for a brief moment. If Bitcoin decides to go full nuclear winter, we could still see that floor come through. As somebody who bought SPS at, in the 30-cent range and the 20-cent range, I never thought we'd see these price levels again. But that's also, part of the market euphoria that we were somewhat feeling, or at least the gaming side of the market was feeling in Q4. Because Gala Games, Decentraland, all these Sandbox, like all these games were just shooting through the roof. Splinterlands did for a brief moment, but Splinterlands was kind of on its own cycle when it came to gaming. We shot a little bit sooner than I believe the rest of the market because of the fact that everybody was hyped for the announcement of Chaos Legion. And so therefore that announcement happened in September and we shot up early October in the lead up to the beginning of the presale. And it's been a downward kind of spiral since then, which we're not going to get into here, but there's a slew of reasons that I've at least come to terms with, or at least rationalize over the past year or so. And if we look at the last 3 months, kind of going back into mid-October, October 18th was the beginning of the sale. I think the first day of the sale, and then we've just seen everything kind of go straight down since then. So here's the thing. We're fighting this downward pressure. I see two catalysts coming up, and there is always the unknown, I suppose, that could come in. That would be either SPS utility or voucher utility. Because keep in mind, right, SPS, the only utility that SPS has right now, or at least one of the main ones, is vouchers, right? Is that it airdrops its holders and stakers vouchers. So there is another avenue in which the the SPS token could become more desirable, and therefore, everybody wants to buy it. And that would be if vouchers are implemented in other ways. And I know there's been a lot of speculation in the map chat, in my stream, and in many places online about what the future utility of vouchers will be. We know already that they're probably going to be used for Rift Watchers, but I would bet my bottom DEC that we would definitely see some other utility for vouchers come into play. So we were given the SPS roadmap, and we know kind of what to expect from that. There's SPS tournament staking as well. That could be something big, because keep in mind, 2022 is going to be a big year for esports, right? Zen Sports is coming in, and who knows what other potential sponsors or organizations or leagues or competitive agencies will come in and see the type of competition that's happening here, want a piece of it, become part of the ecosystem, and potentially drive things up that way. So SPS, it has so much potential. What I see as tangible, though, right? What I see as tangible, and what I wanted to call in this video, were two: the SPS governance and the Rift Watcher sale. Everything else besides that is just speculation, and it's very, very difficult to see or calculate or value what kind of price action that would give us. As it stands, fully diluted market cap, we're sitting at about $500 million. So it's not, this isn't a small game by any means, but keep in mind, we only have, maybe 500, probably less than 500 million out of 3 billion tokens, right? So if we're just rounding up, we're less than 20% of the total tokens in circulation. So this will be a period over 5 years in which these tokens are released. Again, the airdrop is released for the entire first year, so that will go through July. And if we just want to take a look real quick at some of the other gaming tokens in the category, we can start to see here, what these market caps are. Now, I'm comparing a fully diluted market cap to the current market caps of these games, which is not an apples to apples comparison, but it's actually biased in a way that is much more conservative, right? So for example, Axie is at almost 5 billion right now. If SPS were to hit that market cap from a fully diluted sense, we would see, roughly about a 10x there. Again, none of these are price predictions. There's no time frame for when anything like that would happen, and a lot is dependent on the game continuing to grow and bring in new players and building out an even more robust ecosystem within there. But just wanted to give an idea of where this could potentially go based on some of the other top games out there, right? Because Splinterlands does have a very solid player base, and according to a lot of metrics, is one of the higher played games in the play to earn space that, in my opinion, at least from the sources that I follow, is not getting any love or recognition. So I'm hoping that as we round the corner, and no matter what Bitcoin does, if Bitcoin goes up, there's a lot more interest in the space. If Bitcoin goes down, what's nice about gaming is that there's still interest in the space because people want to continue to play games. And if Bitcoin is boring, people will find other ways to entertain themselves within crypto, right? They'll start looking at some of these other projects, and that could potentially lead to SPS, being a little bit more desired at that point as more and more people come in. The last thing, and I'm going to say this, I have no inside information. I don't know if and when it's going to happen. It doesn't seem like the team is trying at all to make it happen, which is good. I appreciate the attitude that they've taken, but the when Binance, when Coinbase, when whatever exchange you want listing, I don't actually view those as price catalysts. If you are a trader, then yes, there might be a swing there that you would be able to profit from. And to be honest, if we did overshoot expectations on something like that, I may rebalance my portfolio at that point. But I don't view, these listings as necessarily, I don't view them as the, end all be all for price mooning, right? Because there's a euphoric moment when it first happens, and then everything kind of cools down. It's just another on ramp. And we know already with 500,000 players, or at least 500,000 accounts, we're not really sure what the full player count is from there, but it is a significant amount of players. They're already operating within a lot of these decentralized spaces, right? Buying from PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, Gate.io, whatever the case is. So yes, it would open the ecosystem to a lot, but that doesn't mean that it would automatically translate into upward price action only, right? There might be a moment where there's a massive rush in, but I don't see that as a long-term kind of price catalyst to really get us up and stay up in the same way that other games have, right? And you can look at something like Axie and say, wow, Axie is down, on the 3-month chart, Axie's down. It was up at 160. Was that its all-time high? Let's see here. All-time high was 165. Like, we're down 50% on Axie. But if you look at the 1-year chart, look at where Axie was. It was under a penny a year ago. Guys, it was under a penny for the AXS token, right? So this is more than a 70x even after this major crash here. So what we will want to see is not, well, I mean, look, who wouldn't be happy with this? But the point that I'm trying to make is that in order for this not to crash all the way back down, you'd have to make sure, and by you, I'm saying we, the team in general, and the community overall, would have to make sure that there is still value in the game, and value specifically in the token, which we know is being focused on with the 2022 roadmap. So that's all I have for you guys in this video today. Couple of catalysts coming up. I'm very excited about them. I would love to see more upward price pressure, just to kind of offset all the downward price pressure we've been seeing, even though that downward pressure is very normal and natural, and I've been a part of it. Who hasn't sold some of the SPS that they get from staking rewards or airdrops to buy some cards, right? But that is all going to potentially cool down a bit after the general sale. And once the market finds some kind of equilibrium, we will see where things go with the upcoming governance and Rift Watchers. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope it was helpful or insightful, or maybe had you look at something in a different way. If there's anything I got wrong or anything you want to share with me, please do let me know. You can leave it in the comments section if you're watching here on YouTube. Actually, you can leave it in the comment section regardless of where you're watching. But if you are watching here on YouTube, I would very much appreciate if you would consider liking and subscribing. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. And for those of you on 3Speak, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Really trying to grow out on both platforms. Have a great rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game.